there's been a lot of threats going out on YouTube and Facebook and all of these social medias, Black Lives Matters. And I'm not even going to give credit to the one organization that was calling out the Boogaloo and the Three Percenters and, all of this other shit. They know who they are. But that being said, there's been a lot of violence that's been taking place. These people stopped in traffic and then attacking vehicles, busting windows out of vehicles and stuff like this. Because of this, there's been a lot of people that have been pretty much terrified and concerned for their life, and they've went out and they've decided to buy themselves a firearm. There's a lot more to it than just buying a firearm, folks. Get yourself some training. Get yourself a carry conceal permit in your state. I live in Delaware. My own personal recommendations is it's all about protection. Sean Raw, Crystal Raw, you'll find them on Facebook. Get yourself some training and train regularly. There's several different things that you can do to keep yourself alive in these dangerous times that we're living. You may even want to purchase yourself some body armor. 12 pounds of weight on your chest is better than having an ounce of lead inside of it, okay? But that's once again, that's a personal preference. That's just like the type of firearm. You'll hear people tell you, oh, get this 380 or get a 1911 or get a 9mm. Get what is best for the situation that you feel best comfortable with handling if you're into a threat and you're trying to stop it. 4-inch spread inside of the body doesn't matter. It's going to do a lot of damage, okay? Have more than one magazine. Always carry more ammo besides what's inside of your magazines. If you have to reload, don't worry about reloading the entire magazine. Just put enough ammo inside of the magazine. Once you've expunged all of the rounds in the magazine, get yourself enough rounds inside of it so that you can fire off 2 or 3 more shots and get yourself back into the firefight as quick as possible. God forbid, when seconds count. Your life matters. These are a couple of things that you can do. The dime test. Put a dime on top of the slide of if you've got a semi-automatic, for example, put a dime on top of the slide behind the front sight and do some dry fire practices with it. If you don't feel comfortable with doing the dry fire without a dummy round inside of it, afraid you're going to damage your firing pin, buy yourself a couple dummy rounds and do this practice. Do it regularly, not, just buying a firearm and putting it on your side and saying, oh yeah, I've got a firearm, I'm Mr. Badass or I'm Miss Badass. It's not about that, okay? It's about protecting yourself from a threat, from stopping a threat to you and your family's life. There's several different systems, and if you're going to buy one, you may as well buy 2. It's always better to have more and not enough than not enough. I've got handguns, I have shotguns, I've got long rifles, because I may have a situation where I need the shotgun. It may do more good for me to have a shotgun than a long gun. I've got handguns because I may need a handgun instead of the shotgun or the long rifle, the long gun. So get yourself some training in your state. Get your carry conceal. Get a non-resident from another state so that it broadens that scope of where you can carry at in case you're traveling. Always remember the 4 A's of survival. And this goes with anything. I don't care if you're traveling, taking a vacation trip, or what have you. assess the area, know the ins and outs, know emergency routes, knowing how to evac out of the area that you're in safely and quickly, as quickly as possible. Avoid any type of threats if you possibly can, by all means. Always arm yourself. I don't care if it's just a penknife, some type of a folding knife, something. Always have something that you can use. A set of keys even is a good weapon. You jab somebody in the eyes with a key, I guarantee you that it's going to give you enough time where you can run or what have you, okay? These are just a couple of pointers that I'm trying to pass on. What else? Assess, arm, avoid, and if the point comes where you have no other options, attack, and make sure that you're doing it as if your life depends on it, because your life will depend on it. Never pull a firearm on anybody unless you plan on shooting them, and that's a serious thing right there. A lot of people will argue, well, should I carry, one in the chamber? Should I not? Me personally, I'm going to carry one inside of the chamber. Why should I have to worry about my muscle reactions on having to charge the thing as I'm pulling it out of? I want to have as much time on my side to eliminate or stop the threat as I possibly can. And when your adrenaline is pumping, you're going to make mistakes. I guarantee you, you will make mistakes if you do not have yourself drilled and you do not have that discipline of knowing what you're going to do. And that only comes by practice, 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 practice. Okay? And even then, you may not be perfect. You still may make mistakes, but you'll make far less mistakes if you continue a regimen of practicing in situations. Once again, get yourself some training. Go to somebody that you have in your area that does a carry conceal permit class. Ask some questions. Find out what and all they teach inside of the class. Now, they're just teaching you what's inside of the book and, watching a couple of videos and going out to the range and shooting a couple bullets inside of a target. That's not enough, folks. I'm going to tell you this. That is not enough. Get with somebody that's going to have some real life situations, experiences that they have that they are going to share with you, so that you have a little bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge of what you may encounter in case you have a threat and what to do in case that threat happens that they are teaching you. Okay. With that being said, y'all have a great day. And once again, I live in Delaware, so my recommendations, it's all about protection. Sean Raw and Crystal Raw. Check them out. They're on Facebook.